Before installation, ensure that you have the correct instructions. Replacement instructions can be found at galebreaker.com. Check the contents of your door against the parts listed on page 3 of your instructions. Start from the opposite end of the building to the prevailing wind direction. The ridge can be fitted to an opening that finishes at the gable end of the building or up to the roof crown of the main roof. Fit a support leg to the purlin each side of the opening using the M8 by 100mm coach screws, ensuring that it is upright. For gable end installation, the top of the support leg should be 210mm above the roofline and a distance of 200mm from the end of the building to the centre of the bracket. For ridge cap installation, the support leg should be fitted with a small gap up against the ridge cap, with the top 210mm above the roofline. Fit the second set of support legs to the building as per the image. This should be at a distance of 3 metres from the end of the building to the centre of the leg, or from the centre of the first trough in the ridge cap sheet for ridge cap installations. Place the first truss into the first 2 support legs and centralise with the opening. Secure with a 5.5 by 25mm self-drilling screw each side through the support leg and into the truss. Repeat on the other support. Fit a second truss to the other set of support legs, centralise and secure. Place the drilling jig on the inner face of the baffle and align as shown to drill a 5mm hole through the baffle. Rotate the jig to align the upper of the 3 holes with the hole in the baffle. Position it parallel to the end of the baffle and drill the other 2 holes for the support bracket. Turn the baffle over and place the jig on the outer face of the baffle and align with the edge and the upper fold line. Drill 3 holes and then repeat on the other side of the baffle. Rivet the baffle support brackets and the end support bracket to the baffle with the pop rivets. Rivet from the outside in. Repeat to produce the opposite end baffle. Assemble the intermediate baffles in the same way but without the end support bracket. Only assemble the required amount of full-length baffles. Leave the final one each side until the end. Lift the assembled baffle up and place between the ends of the trusses with the lower edge resting on the roof sheets. Secure to the first truss with the M8 by 20 bolt, washers and nuts. Fit the bolts and washers to secure the baffle to the second truss, but leave the nuts finger tight at this stage. Place a purlin along the trusses as shown, so that the end of the purlin aligns with the first slotted hole in the inner truss. The outer end of the purlin should now align with the end of the building for gable end installations or the centre of the first trough for ridgeline installations. Mark and drill a 9mm hole through the purlin to align with the slotted hole on the first truss. Fix both ends with the M8 by 20 bolt, washer and nut. Repeat for the purlin on the other side. Fully secure the bolts in the first 2 baffles. Place the end panel support onto the ends of the purlins and locate up against the end panel support bracket. Drill a 9mm hole through the lower flange of the end panel support and the upper flange of the purlin each side and secure with the M8 by 20 bolt and nut. Place a ridge crown onto the purlins and slide the edge into the channel of the end panel support. Centralise the ridge crown and secure with a 5.5 by 25mm self-drilling screw and washer into the first trough on each side. For the PVC translucent crowns, pull the crown to achieve a 950mm length for the first crown and 900mm cover for subsequent crowns. And ensure you fix every trough. Fix the steel crowns as per the image shown. Use a purlin to mark the position of the next support leg onto the building each side. Place the support leg against the mark and secure with the M8 screws in the upper hole only. This will allow for some adjustment later. Fix the next truss, centralise and secure with the self-drilling screws. Remove the M8 nuts from the end of the baffles and fix the next baffles between the trusses each side. Align with the previous baffle and secure with the M8 bolts, washers and nuts. Fully tighten the nuts joining the previous baffle, but leave the open end finger tight. Fit the purlins each side and secure with the M8 bolt, washer and nut and fully tighten. Adjust the open end truss to fit against the baffle and secure the support legs with the second bolt. Continue to add the ridge crowns along the ridge. Work down the ridge, fitting the next set of support legs and truss, intermediate baffles, purlins and ridge crowns. Fit the final truss as per the first truss and measure the distance from the end of the last purlin to the end of the building, or to the centre of the first trough on the roof sheet. Cut the purlins and baffles to length. Assemble the pair of end baffles as per section 3 and install onto the building as previously instructed. Mark and drill a 9mm hole through the purlin to align with the slotted hole on the last truss. Fix both ends with the M8x20 bolts, washers and nuts. Repeat for the purlin on the other side. Complete the installation of the ridge crowns and fit the end panel support bracket. Cut the final crown to length as necessary. For gable end installations, the end panel will fit to the end panel supports and run down over the end of the building. This will require a suitable fixing to secure the bottom edge to the building. For ridgeline installations, the end panel should fit onto the first trough with a 10mm gap to the sheet. This may require trimming if necessary. Fix the end panel using the 5.5x25mm self-drilling screws to the end support and baffle bracket at approximately 300mm spacings. Secure the top outer corner with the self-drilling screws through the end panel, baffle bracket and end panel support. Fit the second end panel overlapping the first and repeat the fixings. Secure the lower edge fixing through the overlapped section. For the ridgeline installation, there will be no lower edge fixings. Rivet the overlap to the end panels as necessary. Cut and fit the anti-sag bars centrally through the building purlins at each mid-span position with a washer and 2 nuts at each end. Attach the ventilation information label at either end of the building at eye level from the ground. As a safety precaution, do not install your Galebreaker product in high winds or adverse weather conditions. There is a broad range of spare parts available from our website or ordered through your local dealer. Thank you for choosing Galebreaker. We're pleased to offer you a full guarantee, the full details of which can be found at galebreaker.com.